What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 5 of Park to Prem here with Lincoln City. Today we have the playoff semi-finals, folks. Yes, 2 huge games against Doncaster Rovers, a team whom only a few episodes ago we were playing in the league. Yes, a team who have kind of constantly been a bit of a thorn in our side. Last time we met, we beat them 1-0. It was a really dominant performance, but we only mustered up that 1 goal. We need to be far more clinical today, but if we can turn up like we did in this game, I'm feeling cautiously optimistic about how far we can go in this. Of course, we've got the heartbreak of last season to try and put to the back of our mind. Not for Lincoln City, although I say that, they too lost in a playoff final, but of course I lost in a playoff final last year over at Boston. So, yeah, I'm managing a team that lost the playoff final. I lost the playoff final. I would really like to win the playoffs this year, otherwise I'm going to be concerned there's some kind of curse on both me and the club. You might be wondering, how did Boston United finish the season? Well, folks, they have been promoted. Yes, they are now breathing down our necks, as if we didn't have enough motivation to make it out of League 2 this year. My former club are going up into the league that we're in. They won the league quite comfortably in the end. Lidl ended up with 22 goals. Fair play to Johnny Halson. You've done something that I wasn't able to do last year, and you've basically taken my team and done well with them. Although I say all this, Callum Green, their key man, he joins us at the end of the season, so I've got the last laugh even if we don't go up this year, I guess. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to the first time we meet Boston United, be it next season, be it in a cup run, hopefully at some point. I feel like there's a bit of unfinished business there. Of course, we go into the playoffs as the team who finished in 5th, which means that we do get a bit of an advantage of playing the second leg against Doncaster at home. As well as that, we've been pretty good when it comes to our form. We've beaten the likes of Port Vale. We did lose, actually, against Rochdale and Wickham towards the end of the season. But just in general, I feel like we're a team on the up, and I'm hoping that that's going to continue to be the case today. And, well, you know what? I could talk about a load of nonsense. There's nothing to talk about. It's been less than a week since the season ended. And frankly, I just want to settle my nerves and get into this first game against Doncaster if Football Manager will load it. Can we get to the match? I guess we're taking the bus there. Right, I'll join you in a second. The game is just stuck. I don't think this is how tactical briefings are meant to look. Okay, good news everyone. We've arrived in Doncaster. 1 restart of Football Manager later. I don't know what happened there. It didn't like the idea of this match, I guess. Looking at the team for today's game, I am just still tweaking things very late on here. I would have loved to have had Richards fit today, but I just feel like it's a bit too much of a risk to play him. I mean, we can see it looking at his fitness test, 75 minutes. I feel like, you know what, he hasn't played left wing for the last few games of the year. Let's keep him as an ace up our sleeve. In starting him for today's game, he may not be fit for the game in 4 days' time. Of course, he could easily come on off the bench. The rest of the team looks rather standard. The big news really is that right back, Brown is fit. He isn't match fit, but he's our best right back. Got to give him a shot. And whilst it might be a little harsh on Addons, he's not been very good at right back as of late. When we've played him there, he's been fine as kind of the backup option, but it's not really his wheelhouse. It's not what he's known for. He's done a fine job there. No criticisms really, but at the same time, you know, when your natural right back's fit, you got to play him. One notable thing actually is Cons and Quansah. They've decided they like each other again. It's the panda dynamics of my centre backs. You know, they're kicking in. Maybe this is Quansah's mate. Who knows? But yeah, that was a dash line, I think, just last episode. They've settled their differences. They're best mates again. The rest of the team looks rather standard. Glatzel is going to obviously play out on the left. Thomas plays as the advance forward. Olamola plays out on the right. Bit of an unsung hero this year, I feel like, Olamola, but he's been good. Hopefully this can be a top quality game. And of course, the real difference maker so far, as much as I can't believe he's continuing to do it, it's Fall. He's just insane, isn't he? I don't know how he's done what he's done this year. I'm just hoping he can keep it going for 3 more games this season and get us to League 1. I don't know if it would be harsh if, out off the back of this, if we were to win the playoffs, I do just end up dropping him and getting rid of him. Would that be considered like unnecessary and harsh? It's just for me personally. I don't think he's good enough for League 2. Yes, he's done really well here. How the hell he'll ever continue to do well, I suppose, at League 1 is a whole nother question. I feel like his pace saves him, right? And it's like, if his pace isn't that bigger a difference maker, you know, if we're playing faster defenders, is he actually going to be as good as he is? Anyway, looking at Doncaster for today's game, they're playing a 4-2-3-1. For us, it's our 4-4-2 with names that we cannot read. I mean, reading names overrated. And, well, let's get... Who's that there? Someone did not line up correctly. Was that one of our players? I think it was. It's not a great sign. Of course, the league table is no longer relevant today, so we can have some different information in our little between highlight box on the right. And, well, let's see what we can do here. Thomas bringing the ball forward. Foul, you're quick. Get in the box, mate. No one to pick out, but it's going to be a penalty. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if I should say this, Oliver Finney doesn't miss penalties. I don't think he's missed one since I've joined the club. And I realise now I'm applying all this pressure, potentially just going to, screw myself over, and I absolutely have. I'm so upset. Why did I say it? I mean, it's not like the game's listening to me, but I've just invited that upon myself. 2 minutes into this playoff semi-final, we miss a penalty. Oh my word, the tackles, I'll tell you what, they're continuing to fly in from Doncaster. I think they've got a bit of a vendetta against us after that 1-0 victory. Oh, that's frustrating. That was such a good opportunity so early on in this game, and we can't really say we've blown it. But let's be frank here, that is just a chance that we have to take and we have to score, and we've just not, sadly for us. And, well, since then, 25 minutes have passed, absolutely nothing. They now have a set piece, dangerous area, ball whipped in. Clark. Oh my word, that whizzed past the face of goal. That's not what you want to see there. Remain calm, everyone. I'm trying not to think about the penalty miss, but it's hard not to. The stats for this game very much weighted in our favour. We've been the better team. We've got a chance here. Thomas through. He's got to finish that. Are we going to rue these missed chances? We beat them 1-0 in the league, and I felt like it should have been more. I already feel like in this game we could be a couple of goals up. And we've squandered some really good opportunities. Of course, none better than the penalty. Phillips brings it forward for them. Not like this, Football Manager. Stop it. I mean, look at the stats. Look at those stats. At 1.68 XG, they've had one shot on target. This is the leg that they should be seizing control of. This is their home leg to be the better team in. Apparently, I'm meant to tell the players I'm happy with their performance. I'm not going to. I'm not happy. I've got faith in you to improve. Come on. Good reaction from everyone. Good team talk. Farl feels motivated and inspired. Let's hope that shows in his performance. Oh, I really hope we don't come to rue that missed penalty. We've been the better team in this game. We deserve to be ahead. Can we find the breakthrough? Finney, I mean, you're going to have to do a lot to get a redemption now, my friend. Thomas, great touch. Can he finish it? Yes, he can. Thank you very much, Swansea City, for the loan. I don't use many loans. When I do, it turns out to be a player who might be single-handedly getting us through the semi-finals. Really nicely worked here, though. Olamola with that ball through. Farl gets a huge flick on there. Thomas uses the little bit of pace he has to, well, find himself free. And a nice finish. He missed one similar to that in the first half. So good to see him come back in this game and score. And with that, we can breathe a small sigh of relief. It can't be a big one. We can't start to relax too much. I am going to demand more. And actually, I'm going to make a change here. And Glatzel is injured but feels he can shake it off. I'm not going to risk it. Taylor Richards, you know what? I've bigged you up, mate. Going to give you the second half of this game to play. Tom White has been a bit meh as a box-to-box midfielder. I'm going to bring in YOLO, because you only live once. It's the battle cry of a generation. Is it the battle cry the Lincoln City fans can cheer as we depart from Doncaster's ground after this game? We're about to find out. I mean, here he is, the man of the moment. Gives it to Finney, who hits it, and I'll tell you what, you're forgiven. You're forgiven. I mean, it would be nice to be 3-0 up right now, but I'm going to forgive him. Awful goalkeeping, it has to be said. Jones has been trash. Apparently, Quansah is very tired. Are you going to be okay, mate? He's on a 7.1. I don't want to take him off here. I mean, YOLO's got the assist, technically, although I think the goalkeeper deserves the assist for that howler. You cannot get beaten at your near post from that range. We've been the better team. It finally shows on the scoreline. I'm feeling good, but we can't afford to get complacent. I've shouted demand more. They all hate me. Last year, I could shout demand more in all circumstances, and you would still be worshipped like a god. Need to remind myself, this isn't FM20. Finney doing some fancy passes. He's got his confidence going, everyone. It's pulsating through his veins. And well, Thomas, I don't know if he was trying to head it for a shot or to head it to run onto. Whatever it was, it wasn't very good. And now they're on the attack. Phillips with the ball. Do not let him pull the trigger. Hollings hits it wide of the post just. That was not really comfortable. I was about to make a change, but another highlight's begun. I wanted to bring in Cooper. I think Cooper's on the bench today. If he's not, that's very awkward. I'm still desperate to get him a goal. Richards, back from injury, keeps it in superbly. That is what he's all about. He has the pace to catch the ball there, and Fal has the pace to get the ball there. That is a gift. That is awful by Doncaster. Who is their centre-back there? Thompson. Hang your head in shame. You're wearing gloves in May. You deserve to miss that. Who wears gloves in May? Serious question. And with a name like Thompson, I can't imagine you come from a climate where you're not used to the May weather of England. I mean, my players would never wear gloves. That's all I've got to say on the matter. Disgraceful. I will say the fact that Doncaster have 3 players on booking, I think, is really testament to how we've ran them ragged this game. We've forced them to commit fouls. I mean, it's 3-0, 4, and you would say the game is over after the first leg, although maybe that's just inviting myself to collapse in spectacular fashion. Thomas, 1 goal to his name. Great turn, great finish. Olamola again involved in the build-up play. Wow, could not ask for a better performance in this first leg. We've looked absolutely top draw. This actually reminds me a lot about the game when we played them previously, but the big difference here is we're just taking every chance that comes our way since the penalty. Ignore the penalty, pretend that doesn't exist. Since then, clinicalness. One of the things that we've done really well this year is score a lot of goals. We've not always been great defensively. Completely shut them down here. And as I said, I don't want to say the game is over, but I mean, you look at the performance across the board. You know, Thomas has ended up with man of the match on an 8.7. Cummings done well in goal on a 7.4, dealt with everything that came his way. Quansah on a 7.6, turning up big when you need it. Yolo on a 7.3 as well. Very, very happy. And it's a lot of the signings that we brought in January actually making the difference, which makes this kind of win even more sweet. In the other fixture, AFC Wimbledon, who finished 7th, have just drawn with Mansfield. You have to imagine it's going to be Mansfield to win the home leg there. They finished comfortably 4th in the league. But, I mean, I was angry after the first half. I'm not angry anymore. You've left me in a proper chipper mood, boys. Give Joshy Thomas some praise. I still don't feel like he's my kind of player, but you know what? He just keeps performing, so I can't really argue with it. I wonder if we could sign him permanently. They're asking for £1 million in January. They still are asking for okay, well, maybe we'll loan him for another season if we can, but he's doing really, really well. Cannot knock him one little bit. Anyway, the next leg is in 4 days' time, so we are going to jump forward to that one. Hopefully, off the back of this result, it's going to be fairly straightforward. And, well, yeah, don't go anywhere. This is, I want to say it's not done. It should be done, but weirder things have happened. This is Football Manager. So it's time for the second leg, and to be honest, as far as second legs go, I'm remarkably calm. Of course, there is still a job to be done here, but I don't know, the 4-0 win puts us in such a great position. I feel like I can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief. One issue that Quansah has had throughout his career is that with 9 natural fitness and 8 stamina, he's always tired. He really struggles to play more than 1 game a week. So although it's not really needed, I think I am going to bring in Bajrami at centre-back alongside Cons today. Hopefully that's not going to be something we live to regret. They do have the little angry dashed lines, but we're just going to ignore them. Elsewhere as well, Brown is coming back from injury. He's gaining sharpness. So what I think I might do is start Mo Addons today and then take off Brown, or take on Brown rather, just to kind of keep things fresh there. Elsewhere in the team, I'm really tempted to give Yolo the nod. I feel like I can afford to experiment a little bit more with the team today. You know what? I'm going to forgive Finney for what he did last time. We'll play Yolo at centre mid, playing that box-to-box midfielder role, which probably is his best role down the middle. He's got pretty good physicals for getting up and down the pitch. Wouldn't claim he's the most kind of versatile and well-rounded player, particularly defensively, but I think at this level he can do the job for us. And I might live to regret this. I may well do. I'm going to play Cooper as the pressing forward, and I'm sorry, Fal, I want to keep you fresh for the next game. I need to get Mark Cooper a goal before this season is over. And actually, as far as pressing forwards go, he's a pretty blooming good pressing forward. He's got the aggression, he's got the anticipation. There are a few aspects to his game he's certainly lacking in, but he's only 18, right? And it's the first team football that we're giving him that is going to see him improve. And, well, since he's joined the club, there has been improvement across the board. And if he can keep going the way he's going to go, he could be really good for us. And I think as soon as he gets that one goal, they're going to flow. You know, you just got to get him that first one. And, well, now would be as good a time as any, wouldn't it? I feel like at 4-0 up, we can afford to experiment a little bit. Of course, if this now all blows up in my face, I look like a complete idiot. But I'm going to ask the players to pick up from where they left things last time out. A few of the youngsters given the nod today. A little bit of rotation already made in anticipation of a possible final against either AFC Wimbledon or Mansfield Town. But no, I think we can feel good going into this. Isaacs, by the way, he's their key man. Let's have a look. Paulo Isaacs, 19 years old, Jamaican mercenary. I mean, that's a terrifying combination. He apparently is very competitive, inconsistent, and injury prone. And yet he has the highest average rating in their team. I didn't actually see how many games he's played. He might have only played 1 or 2 for all I know. What I do know is, though, we go into this 4-0 up. This should be simple. Sincilbank is packed. Thomas, is he going to... Oh, I thought he was going to score within 12 seconds. It was actually a golden opportunity as well. But what I was going to say is it's nice to see the stadium so filled. Look at it. Sincilbank is rocking. It's not the smallest stadium at this level. It's not the biggest either. But no, I think it's close to 9,000 fans when it's sold out. And it looks very close to sold out today. Anyway, it's headed away, only as far as Bajrami, who is on a booking already. Kwanzaa, get warmed up, mate. Get your training top off. We might need you ready in this game. Oh dear, imagine. Let's not imagine. We're not going to go down to 10 men early on in this game. The worst thing is, if it were to happen, it would only be my fault. And I feel like the fact I've now mentioned it, much like the penalty miss, means it's inevitably going to happen. Anyway, Donny with the ball here. They dink it wide through. Oh my word, he has to hit the target there. The fans behind the goal goad the striker, who has a name that I can't say. It was too long. I mean, I struggle with names that are like 6 letters long. So when a player has like 10-letter names, I mean, look, I'm just going to hold up my hands and say, won't get it right. Isaacs is through. I've mocked him. He's nearly scored. Cummings coming to the rescue. Which he's done a lot this year. He has done that a lot this year. He's gone. I feel like his contribution is underappreciated. In goal, he's made so many saves. I know you look at the draws that I come back and show you where it finishes 3-3 or we win 3-2, and you look at it and consider the fact we're conceding 2 or 3. Make no mistake, those draws would have been losses without this man in goal. After we had the whole shenanigans with work permits and stuff, it was great to have a player in. And you know what? Bajrami's coming. I'm a tactical genius. Bajrami scores. It's 5-0. I think that might be game, set, and match. The fans are being sent into raptures. We can sniff the scent of Wembley. I don't know what Wembley smells like. I mean, I've been there a few times. It just smells like a football stadium, to be honest. But we can smell the scent of Wembley. It's on the tip of our tongues. We can taste it. Now let's gobble it up. Let's get one more. If Cooper scores, we're on the pitch. I am nervous for whoever we play in the final, though. I feel like there's a curse. There's a curse that I need to break. I lost the playoff final last year. Lincoln lost their playoff final last year. The fans have experienced heartbreak. I've experienced it. We don't need to experience it again this year. Tilly with the ball, taking it wide to the guy whose name I cannot say, who hits it and scores. We'll call you Fajiri. Fajiri Berhi? Okenaberhi. We'll go with it. Okenaberhi scores. We'll just call you Fajiri. It's easier for everyone involved. 1-1 on the night, 5-1 on aggregate. I don't think I've ever been so calm, in a playoff game where a team has drawn level on the night, but it feels quite carefree right now. It must be worth kind of reiterating. We started the game well. Actually, Doncaster have grown into this. They've had chances. I'm going to get shouty. Mark Cooper, where is your goal? Find it. I mean, I'm not going to do this in the playoff final, obviously. That would be a terrible, terrible decision. I think much like the last game, though, I will give Taylor Richards the nod and bring him out on the left-hand side. And Mo Addons, I'm going to take off for James Brown. 2 players coming on off the bench here who do need a bit of match fitness. 2 players who are very likely to play in the final. Again, assuming that we get there, which at this point, I mean, if we don't, I will have had a breakdown in the next 10 minutes. So get ready to comfort me in the comments. I mean, if they score, could they do it? Probably not. And as soon as we see the ball lumped forward, I just think of our pacey attack and think, this is fine. Thomas hits it, it's blocked, falls to Glatzel. Can he keep it alive, or was that first opportunity the chance? Tries to get it in, blocked by the defender. I mean, maybe if we get a penalty, we put Mark Cooper on it. Finney to whip in the ball here, though. Near post. Cons is there. 2 corners, 2 goals. Playing the, I want to say the Boston United way. Playing the WorkTheSpace way. Put your 2 centre-backs, 1 on the near post, 1 attacking the near post. Aim the corners towards their big foreheads and watch the goals flow. 6-1 on aggregate, 35 minutes left. It's done. I wish right now I could get like a little deck chair out, you know, unfold it on the sideline, get a martini, kick back and enjoy the rest of the show. You know how Bielsa has his little stool that he sits on? I want a deck chair. No, well done, you've scored, Oliver. I'm going to continue enjoying my drink. I have still got 1 more sub. I don't think there's much point in using it right now. I mean, who could we bring on? I mean, Farl would be a bit cruel, I feel like, to bring on at this point. Isaac, we could give a bit of game time to. You know what? I'm going to give Forster Kasky the game. He's not really had too many opportunities because Finney's done so well. Finney's actually having a really good game. But despite that, I've not forgiven him for the penalty miss. So we'll take him off, give a bit of rotation, give Forster Kasky a chance just to, you know, stretch his legs. A player who was really good in League One last year, came in really to be at the backup centre mid. And we've not had any injuries there. There's not been much reason to rotate. And when I have wanted to bring someone on, it's been YOLO. I've been given the game time too. Anyway, Cooper's bringing it forward. Can you do it here, Cooper? No, he can't. The keeper should just let that in. Jones, have a word with yourself, mate. Your season's over. You're done. Forster Kasky to whip in the ball. I was hoping for a hat-trick of corners. Unfortunately, it's going to be cleared away. And that's probably going to be, I was going to say that's probably going to be that, and time's going to trickle away. But straight into another highlight before I can even encourage the players. They are committing a lot of men forward at this point, which probably isn't surprising. And, well, they've been denied by the woodwork, and the linesman's flag there was never going to count. This 4-2-3-1 they've used today just hasn't worked at all. They have really, you know, not troubled us too much. I know they've scored 2 goals. But the latter one was a set piece. You know, I feel like on the day we've been the better team here. With 10 minutes left, I think we can, you know, leave the game with a bit of a smile on our face. I actually say that. Our XG is much lower, but I don't know. I feel like we've always been in control. Maybe it's the lenses that I'm looking at this game through. I kind of came into this game with a complacent attitude. I'm glad that the players weren't showing similar levels of complacency. 10 minutes left. They're not scoring 4, are they? Even if they score 1 now. Well done, Greaves. He's going to get the ball out the net. Should I get shouty? I can't get shouty. You know what? This is completely unnecessary. Just start time wasting, everyone. Let's just annoy them. They worked the ball around nicely here as well, to be fair, Doncaster. Fair play. He worked it round well. Greaves has finished it into the bottom corner. But you've left it too late, lads. You've lost 4-0 at home. Doesn't matter what you do here. Doesn't matter how well your attacking players play. Not good enough on the night. And well, we have it. Can we get the hat-trick of corners? It's whipped in. It's headed away. Forster Kasky, have another go, mate. Dinks it in. Cooper's there. I really thought he was going to score. Phillips brings the ball forward for them. 2 players go crunching in for the slide tackle. It falls to Brown, the right back. Good to see him on the pitch. Kind of recovering from injury. Yolo wins it. Go on, Yolo. Gives it to Cooper. Thomas is through. Can Thomas finish it? No, he can't. I mean, Cooper could have had another assist for his scrapbook there. As it goes, a chance squandered. And I thought it was going to be the last chance of the game. But apparently, one of the teams is still up for another opportunity. Cons lumps it forward. Cooper, this is your moment. This is your chance. All songs are sad and you've hit it wide of the post, you wazzock. At this point, I'm as invested in the promotion as I am Cooper getting his first goal. You can't say he hasn't had the opportunities to get it. He's had a couple in this game and a couple since he joined the club in January. Granted, he's come on off the bench a lot, but I mean, there's a reason he's not starting. You've seen it with some of the chances he's had today. 1 minute left on the clock. Apparently, we're not done yet, everyone. Apparently, we're just going to keep it going. 30 seconds. I mean, if they score another, it would take the shine off the result. 6-3 seems really emphatic. 6-4, and it looks like a hard-fought battle. They have made it 6-4. Why have you done that, Doncaster? You've ruined it for everyone. The history books were going to paint us as this team that demolished you. At 6-4, it looks like you gave us a good go. To be fair, it was a really good goal. As much as I want to be annoyed with it, it's an incredible strike into the top corner. You cannot knock it. But that is going to be all they do. 6-4 it finishes. We take the win. We didn't really get going in that game, which I suppose is a concern. Let's tell the players that was a bit of a let-off. We've got to do better than that. I know there were a few players who performed really, really well. But 4-2 on the night is actually not a good result. Meanwhile, AFC Wimbledon have just demolished Mansfield away from home. How have they managed that? Just to put that into context, everyone, if we just look at the league table, which is going to take a second to get to, AFC Wimbledon finished 7th. They scraped into the playoffs right at the very, very end, and somehow they've won away from home 5-0 against Mansfield, who finished on 82 points and only narrowly missed out on promotion. I was getting ready to play Mansfield. I was ready for that game, but no. I was wrong. We're going to be playing in the final. It's going to be against an AFC Wimbledon team who just have absolutely no respect for other teams. I don't know how they've won that 5-0, but I mean, that scares me. That makes the next game even more terrifying. That is not going to be a pleasant one to look forward to. 5-0 away from home. And that was a shock result as well. Mansfield were the favourites. I mean, the previous playoff final that we were involved in was one where you'd have to say the goals were lacking. It was a bit quiet. If we just look at last season's playoff final, it was Lincoln v Cambridge and it finished 1-0. I'm going to stick my neck out on the line and say we'll see more goals tomorrow than we're seeing in that game there. That was boring final. Boring. We're going to bring joy at Wembley. Hopefully we're going to be getting promoted. Hopefully we're going to be on the up. I don't want to lose a second playoff final. That would be so, so annoying. Are we going to win it? Aren't we going to win it? Let me know your score predictions down in the comments. I'm excited for it. I will see you guys tomorrow. It is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.